Hello, I'm Maria, your loyal insider here in the Philippines. Let's get one thing straight immediately. While women in your own country treat your age like an expiration date, a dusty bottle of wine past its prime, for us, your 60 years are a premium certification. I'm 25, and I will never date a man my age again. If you think I'm only after your pension, you're half right, but not for the reason you think. I'm looking for a CEO, not a messy construction project. Let's talk about why your 6 decades on this earth are my greatest turn on. If you are a sensitive soul who still believes in Disney fairy tales and age is just a number cliches, close this video right now. This is for the men who want the brutal, unvarnished truth. You are tired of being invisible in your own city, treated like a relic or a walking ATM. You've spent a lifetime working hard, and your biggest fear is being made a fool of by someone half your age. The truth is, you are likely failing because you don't understand the real game you're playing. I am going to reveal the 5 psychological reasons why we prefer a mature foreigner and how you can use this to find a loyal partner instead of a professional actress. If you want to protect your heart and your bank account, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. Before we dive into the reasons why your age is actually your superpower, we need to have a very uncomfortable conversation. Most men arrive in the Philippines with a vision of a tropical paradise where a sweet, traditional girl will love them simply for their kind soul. I'm here to tell you that this version of the Philippines is a stage play, and you are currently the only one in the audience who doesn't realize the actors are wearing masks. The dating apps you're scrolling through at 2 a.m.? They are often digital hunting grounds. That shy girl who takes 3 days to ask for help with her sick carabao or her brother's school fees is following a script that has been perfected over decades of interacting with lonely Westerners. It's a machine designed to turn your desire for companionship into a monthly subscription. Behind that screen, there is often a desperate family pressure you can't even imagine. A cultural malandragem, where the foreigner is seen as a winning lottery ticket rather than a human being. But listen to me closely. It is not your fault. You aren't clueless or pathetic for wanting to believe. You are an honest man from a culture where a handshake still means something, and I love you isn't a transactional opening line. Back home, you've been treated like a background character in your own life for so long that when someone finally looks at you with stars in their eyes, you want it to be real so badly that you ignore the red flags waving in your face. I know the weight of that silence in your big, empty house. I know the sting of being told you're too old by women in your own country who haven't worked half as hard as you have. You've been starved of genuine respect, and these professional actresses know exactly how to feed that hunger with poisoned fruit. I'm stripping away the fantasy today because I want you to stop being a victim of your own kindness. You've earned your seat at the table. Now, I'm going to teach you how to spot who belongs there with you and who is just trying to steal the silverware before they disappear into the jungle. Consider me your shield. Now that we've cleared the smoke, let's look at the real cards you're holding. To truly understand why a woman like me looks at a man like you with genuine hunger, and I'm not talking about the hunger for a cheeseburger, you need to visualize a very simple image. Think of the men my age as an empty notebook. They are cheap. The pages are mostly blank, and whatever is written in them is usually a messy scribble of ego, video games, and maybe career plans. They are a construction site with no blueprints. When a woman dates a young man, she is signing up to be the architect, the laborer, and the financier of a project that will likely collapse before the roof is even on. Now, look at yourself. You are a finished library. Your 60 years have filled the shelves. You have a history section of hard-won lessons, a finance section that is stable and audited, and a philosophy section that doesn't change every time a new trend hits social media. You are a completed work. In your country, people might walk past a library and think it's old or outdated. But in my culture, where survival is an art form, we don't want to spend our lives waiting for a boy to find his path. We want to walk into the quiet, dignified sanctuary of a man who already knows who he is. A library doesn't crash like a glitchy app. It doesn't have identity crises at 3 a.m. It provides shade, knowledge, and security. While Western women are obsessed with fixing broken boys or chasing potential, the Filipina woman is a pragmatist. We aren't looking for a rough draft. We are looking for the final edition. You aren't past your prime. You are simply in print and ready to be respected. But be careful, because even the most beautiful library can be looted if the doors are left unlocked. Let's talk about the first reason your library is a goldmine for us: the death of the macho drama. Now that you understand you are a finished library and not a cluttered notebook, it is time to open the pages and look at the actual rules of the game being played in the shadows. Most men your age come here and play by Western rules, which is like trying to play chess while your opponent is playing poker. You are losing because you don't see the board. Let's look at the 5 honest reasons why a woman like me chooses a man like you, and more importantly, how you can use these reasons to ensure you are the master of the house, not just the man paying for it. Point number 1. The death of the macho drama. Let's be blunt. Young Filipino men are often stuck in a permanent state of macho posturing. They prioritize their barkada, their group of drinking buddies, over everything else. For them, a woman is often just an accessory to their ego. The hidden truth is that a young Filipina is exhausted by the need to prove something that comes with a 25-year-old boy. She is tired of the loud music, the jealousy, and the constant threat of him disappearing for 3 days to check the suspension on someone else's bike. You, at 60, have nothing left to prove. Your emotional consistency is a high-level drug for us. When you don't explode because dinner is 10 minutes late, or when you can sit in comfortable silence instead of needing to be the loudest person in the room, you become a sanctuary. You probably remember a time when you felt you had to be the alpha to get noticed. In the Philippines, your calmness is your alpha trait. To win here, do not try to act younger. Do not try to compete with the boys in the gym. Lean into your stillness. When she sees that you are the quiet mountain, she will naturally want to build her home at your base. If she tries to bring drama to your door, you don't argue. You simply withdraw your attention. That is how a CEO handles a failing department. And it's how you handle a girl testing your boundaries. Point number 2. The provider DNA and the honest truth about money. We need to stop pretending that love is just about feelings. In my culture, love without security is considered irresponsible, not romantic. When I say I choose you for your stability, I am making a resource stability move for my entire future. The hidden explanation is that a Filipina sees a 60-year-old foreigner as a legacy build. She isn't just looking at your bank account for a new pair of shoes. She is looking for a man who can ensure that if she samples the local delicacies with you and a child arrives, that child will never know the hunger she grew up with. You've likely felt like a walking ATM because you lead with your wallet. That is your first mistake. You think you are buying love, but you are actually just attracting professional shoplifters. A real woman wants to know the pantry is full, but she wants you to hold the keys to the kitchen. For example, if she starts asking for emergency funds for a distant cousin's baptism, she is testing the ATM function. Your instruction is simple. Provide for the home, but never for the extended cast of characters. Make it clear that your resources are for the woman who stays by your side to water the garden every single night, not for her entire village. If she realizes the resource stability is tied strictly to her loyalty to you, her loyalty will become ironclad. Point number 3, the gentle knight standard. In the West, opening a door or pulling out a chair is often seen as outdated or even offensive by some. In Cebu or Manila, this is refined traditionalism, and it makes you look like royalty. Local youth culture has become incredibly casual and, frankly, disrespectful. When you treat a woman with the old-school chivalry you were raised with, you are creating a massive psychological gap between yourself and any younger man. The hidden reason this works is status differentiation. By being a gentleman, you are signaling that you belong to a higher class of man. She feels like a queen because you act like a king. I've seen men your age get frustrated because they think they need to be bad boys to keep a young girl interested. That is a lie. She wants the gentle knight who knows how to tuck her in with respect. Instruction: never drop your standards. Be the man who listens, who remembers her favorite fruit, and who treats her with dignity. It makes the thought of visiting a different jungle with a disrespectful young boy feel like a massive downgrade for her. By the way, I know this is a lot to take in, and the game can get even more complex when we start talking about the specific red flags that even my own sisters would hide from you. Because I want you to be truly safe, I've started a private Safety Map newsletter. It's where I share the unfiltered stories and the specific phrases to watch out for in your messages. You can join the inner circle for free at the link in the description. Now, let's get to the most misunderstood part of our connection. Point number 4, intellectual seduction and the mentor role. In your own country, your stories about your 30-year career or your travels might be seen as boring by a woman who is obsessed with her own Instagram feed. To a Filipina, your life experience is a masterclass. We are raised to respect elders, and shifting that respect into romantic admiration is culturally seamless for us. The wisdom sharing you offer is a form of intimacy that a young man simply cannot provide. The hidden tactic here is that she wants a captain for her ship. She doesn't want to navigate the world alone. When you talk about how you overcame challenges or how you built your life, you are polishing the antique in her eyes. You are showing her your value. Practical example: instead of just talking about what you have, talk about how you got it. Show her your mind. Instruction: don't be afraid to be the mentor. A woman who respects your mind will be much more enthusiastic when it's time to examine the master bedroom later that night. Respect is the ultimate aphrodisiac in the Philippines. Point number 5, the predictable future. A 60-year-old man knows exactly who he is. A 25-year-old man changes his mind every time he sees a new YouTube video. A woman at my age is looking for settled intentions. She wants the man who is ready to sit on the porch and watch the sunset while she tends to his needs, not the one who wants to be in the club until 4 a.m. The hidden explanation is risk mitigation. We have seen too many women left behind by young men who found themselves and decided they didn't want a family anymore. You are a safe bet. You aren't going to have a midlife crisis. You've already had it and survived. You are in the sunset phase, and that predictability is luxury to us. If you show her that your wild days are truly over and that you are looking for a loyal partner to share the mango with until the end, she will feel a sense of security that no young boy can ever offer. Your instruction: be transparent about your timeline. Tell her you aren't here to play games. The more you settle into your age, the more she will want to settle into your life. Stop running from your 60 years. They are the strongest anchor you have. Now, we've talked about the logic, the money, and the status. But here is the truth that will keep you awake tonight. The most powerful reason I choose a man of 60 over a boy of 25 has nothing to do with your bank account or your finished library. It's something much more primal, and it's the one thing most Western men are too proud to admit. The real reason I want you is because you are the only one who actually knows how to be grateful for the love I give. A young man is a creature of pure, unearned arrogance. He thinks he is invincible. He thinks the sun rises just to watch him brush his teeth. When a woman tends to his garden or prepares his favorite feast, he treats it like a right, not a privilege. He takes her alaga, our deep cultural tradition of nurturing, and throws it in the trash because his ego is too bloated to realize its value. He doesn't think he needs a woman. He thinks she is lucky to be in his presence. But you? At 60, you've seen the cold side of the world. You've felt the sting of being discarded by a society that only values the new and the shiny. Because you have felt that loneliness, when I bring you a glass of water or soften your pillows at night, you don't just see a chore, you see a miracle. You see a woman who actually cares if you are breathing comfortably. I choose you because your vulnerability is your greatest aphrodisiac. By allowing me to protect your peace, you give me a purpose that no young boy ever could. We aren't just trading my youth for your money. We are trading my alaga for your genuine appreciation. If you come here thinking you are buying a girl, you are just a fool with a wallet. But if you come here ready to be the man who finally values the soft touch he's been denied for decades, then you've already won the game before it even started. I know I've just dragged you through the thorns of the jungle, and you might be feeling a bit bruised. You've heard the secrets, the traps, and the brutal math of our culture. But I didn't tell you all this to scare you away. I told you so you can walk through the front door with your eyes wide open. Listen to me. Despite the professional actresses and the ATM hunters, the Philippines remains the absolute best place on this planet for a man of your caliber to find a love that feels like home. Your 60 years aren't a countdown to being finished. They are your absolute prime. You are at the summit of your life. While 20-year-old boys are still tripping over their own egos and trying to find a direction, you have already paved the road. You offer a level of peace, wisdom, and resource stability that is infinitely more intoxicating to a real woman than a six-pack or a loud motorcycle. There are thousands of traditional, hardworking, and incredibly soft-hearted women here who are praying every night for a man like you. someone who knows how to treat a lady with the dignity she deserves. You aren't just a foreigner, you are the king of your own story. Now that you know where the holes in the road are, you can finally drive with confidence toward the sunset you've earned. So, before you close this tab, answer me this. What is the one old school value you've been told is outdated, but you refuse to give up? Tell me in the comments. I'm listening. My mission here is simple: to make the world a little less lonely and help good men finally find the sanctuary they deserve. If you appreciated my honesty today and want to support my simple life here in the islands, there is a link in the description. It helps me grab a spicy bucket of Jollibee chicken for my family, or a cold San Miguel beer to toast to your new life. You've spent decades building a library. It's time someone finally sat down to read it with you. Take care of your heart, stay sharp, and I'll see you very soon. Ingat.